reached. Area code 313.
All my live niggas in the 313.
Man, hey, shout out my man DJ Los, local legend, internationally known. My man DJ Los, appreciate you, bro. You know that. I know this was supposed to start at 10, and I'm gonna be totally honest with you. I'm not the most technically sound individual out here in the game. Not because I don't think I can handle it, the knowledge of it. Just this technology thing, man. I'm kind of moving with it like what was that movie? Shawshank Redemption. Y'all remember Shawshank Redemption? And it was one of the old heads, man. That cat had been in jail for about 60 years, you know. And he had finally got granted parole. Brooke, I think that was his name. And he, you know, he got out there, man. He just wasn't feeling it. You know, he was trying to get back in jail. He ended up killing himself. But, you know, everything had changed on him. He wasn't, it's just out of pocket. But that's where I'm at on a lot of this computers. I mean, I can get with it, but it's just so much. And I know how I am. It's like everything, like even with these phones now, you get a phone, man, I'd say about 4 to 6 months later, boom, they got the next edition out there. Kind of back in the day, I don't know if where I'm from. Again, well, let me say this. I'm your host. I go by New, just simple N-E-W, born and raised in Detroit. Born on the corner of Tuxedo and Webb. And, you know, things we've been known to be kind of charismatic the way we dress here, whatever the case. But I'm sure this is an international company, but it was a Pelly Pale thing going on back in the day, leather coats. You know, it's cold here in Michigan during the winter time. So, and Pelly Pale had got slick with they love marketing, man. They started putting dates on their coats. You know, so I never did get one of them because I'm like, man, I can't wear a 92 in this 93. You know, they got slick with start putting dates on it. But I know I said that to say that, you know, even with this computer thing, man, they always change stuff, and I'll be trying to keep up with it and all that, and it just be too costly. And then it's just, you know, I quit messing with this stuff with 3-button Sega, man. I stopped playing video games at the 3-button Sega. You know, PlayStation came, and had all these, you know, you left finger here like Twister, you know, boom, over here, go over here, doing, you can spin move. You know, I was 3-button Sega, man. It was simple for me. But that's why I'm here an hour late. But you know, belabor that. But I had to explain the situation. Again, like I said, I'd like to thank you. Appreciate you stopping by. For those of you who didn't catch the show, if you don't catch it, you know, live, you catch it from either being shared. Make sure you share, like, and subscribe over there at No Fan Sports Pod. It's No Fan TV 20 over there on YouTube. Hit the like and subscribe button, and it'll give you notifications. You know, and the notification buttons will let you know when we going live. We're trying to do some things. Hey, we're trying to, you know, build a network up, man. And while we doing that, let me go into this because I'll do these the disclaimers too real quick. Because this gonna be kind of heavy. Well, it ain't heavy to me. You know, I might say a few things that's go irritate or piss some people off. And I'm gonna be honest. You know, I'm gonna be somewhat joking, but you know, there's a lot of truth that's gonna be told behind this too. Just the same. Okay, so No Fan Sports Podcast is providing this podcast as a public service, but it is neither a legal interpretation nor a statement of No Fan Sports Podcast policy. Reference to any specific product or entity does not constitute an endorsement or recommendation by No Fan Sports Podcast. The views expressed by the guests are their own, and their appearance on the program does not imply an endorsement of them or any entity that they represent. Views and opinions expressed by myself are those of my own and do not necessarily reflect the view of No Fan Sports Podcast or any of its officials. And copyright disclaimer under Section 107 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowances made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Okay, so we got that out the way. And also, too, I always have to go to this mission statement, man, because when we do this here at No Fan, like the topic tonight, though, even though it may not seem like its own, sports related, but it is sports related, man. I mean, you've seen the title. I'm throwing my hat in. I am the official buffer for the professional athletes out here. I want to be your official buffer. I haven't worked out my fees just yet. Still working on that, but it's definitely gonna be cheaper than what you end up paying for being or for doing things that you need you need a buffer. I'll just say that. And but No Fan, this is what we do here. This is No Fan is fan groupie slappy free zone. We here at No Fan are dedicated not to just the analytics, metrics, and or statistics that are part of any given sport, but also the non-measurables that can't and doesn't get recognition on the stat sheet. Things like heart, mental tenacity, drive, hunger, etc., as well as being able to understand the difference between athleticism versus actual skill and fundamentals. Instead of being caught up like a deer in the highlights, as you all over his or her physical gifts from above. Yeah, that's fan talk. No, we don't do that here. We speak of X's and O's that many of you may mistake for hate. And I have to say this all the time because man, we like to talk about it. We like to talk about things. When I started doing this podcast thing, man, I didn't do it, on the monetary tip per se. No, not per se. And didn't do it, it's not no ego thing, I just wanted some general conversation, some real direct dialogue and conversation with people who are capable of talking about sports, who are capable of separating the athlete from the player from the man or woman, being capable of separating that with their on field and off the field. And what I'm talking about tonight is a off-field type of situation, and I may be a little late on it, but it just prompted me that I might say some explicit things too, but it's just necessary. So just to get into it, I came across a post or article, and what's his name? Ime Udoka. Who used to coach the Boston Celtics. Well, he got fired, and they never did say who the woman was, or let on who it was that he was creeping around with. From all I know, and you know what? After I finished, I meant to do this before I started this, but I'm gonna dig into that a little bit deeper too. I'm just curious, but they never disclosed who the wife was or what person. I love to know how they doing right now. But anyway, he got fired. He did get another job. He's working as the head coach over there for Houston, over there at Houston, for the Houston Rockets, and but he was married to Nia Long. He and Nia Long was married, and he got caught cheating or whatever the case may be. And see, this is where the buffer thing kind of come in. It's not just a buffer to help you cheat or anything like that, but just at some point, and he's an older gentleman. He's coaching men. At some point in your life, you have to make that turn. You just have to make that turn, and it's time to take yourself in a different direction. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, when you grow up and you stop doing childish type of things. I remember such things myself. And I remember when I decided to kind of like look, I took that look in the mirror. You know, I like it's Michael Jackson got a that man in the mirror, you know, beautiful song. And you have to reflect on and some of the things that you do. I mean, growing up, I like to think that part of our problems are here is that a lot of some people just don't grow. They don't grow. Um, they remain stuck in certain like a time frame, so to speak. You know, and I think that's what I'm just gonna be frank. What we did when we were young in our teens or young adults, you shouldn't really be, if what you do now is still along those lines, it's something wrong. We should grow at all facets of life. We should grow. That's just something we should do. Okay. We should all grow and stop doing certain things. So anyway, my man got caught up. I'm gonna look her up, and he and Nia Long had a child together, and they were married or whatever. And so naturally they got to come up with some type of divorce settlement or whatever, custody battle. I don't think it was divorce, but they had a child together, so they had to come up with a little custody deal. So she got, I guess, full custody, but he's obligated to pay $32,500 a month for child support. Now, this is not gonna be what you probably go think, one of those jump on the female, why she taking him, and how much money she gets, she don't need all that money. This is not gonna be one of those things. No, this is not what this is about. This is about just responsibility and growth. That's what it's about. Responsibility and growth. Okay. I can't think of any piece of pussycat that I'd be willing to pay $32,500 a month for. Even if that was at home, even if you kept it. So it was necessary for you to cheat on, and you got caught, but not in the back of your mind, you thinking, what is this going to cost me? Not just the embarrassment or anything like this, but I'm talking about financially. $32,500. That's his monthly payment. Oh my goodness. So with a buffer come in that we sit down and talk, man. Look, for all you professional athletes out there, whatever, man, I'm gonna leave. You can hit me, inbox me. I give you my number. I'm gonna figure out a fee because you got money that for some reason you guys don't feel, just frivolously throw it away for some apparent reason. Like my man Cat said he go to the strip clubs everywhere he go. He said he go to every time he perform, man, he said he go to the strip club. And the performance, the interview that he had with Shannon Sharp was phenomenal. I don't even know the numbers. They say the millions and millions of views because a lot of stuff he was talking about was frank. And I'm not trying to piggyback off of that, but that's what I like to think that I keep it a buck, And so he said when he hit them strip clubs, he in there to sponsor. He said he in there to sponsor. Now, don't get me wrong. It's a saying out there, you can't turn a hoe into a housewife. Obviously, Joe Smith's current wife don't mind still doing what she used to do. I guess it's a little tight for them financially or whatever, but she went out there and got her little OnlyFans back on. Apparently he took her off the table. She still like messing around with the table. But Cat's words was, why would you give money away to a woman that you don't respect? So he like, when I come in there, I'm coming to sponsor. I'm trying to, he coming in like Captain Save 'em, Rescue Ranger. And okay, it's just that simple. And ain't nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. Some folks you can save, some folks you can't. It's just some women that do those things for whatever reason they do. Some men just might like doing that. You can't rescue that. It's just a job still at the end of the day. But I appreciate the fact that he's going in there not throwing away money that he disrespects or degrade or don't like. He going in there to, make somebody's life better. Okay. So if you're going to do it like that, that's one thing. But to just frivolously risk so much for a piece of pussy, cat. And I don't care how much money you make a year. You can make, okay, you got 32,000 a month, five. Even if you made $10 million a year, I don't care. That's still 32.5 for sex, basically. So we have to make better decisions. That's where the buffer come in. You come talk to me before you even decide to dive off into that. You need to come talk to me so we can discuss the options here and really decide on what is worth that. What is it really worth it? I know the NFL got them rookie symposiums and different things like that. Cats still fail to do what they supposed to do and all this kind of crap. I get it. Average Joe such as myself, Nia Long. Oh my goodness, who don't want to talk to Nia Long? You know what I'm saying? Who don't want to be with Nia Long? You've been with her. You had children with her. Had a child with her. And people, I don't know. You go through things. We've all done it. I've done a lot of those type of things too when I was a lot younger. And I can tell you, true story. And I'm telling you this story because as an outsider looking in, a lot of, your first, and I know I used to feel like this too, oh man, Nia Long or Halle Berry, man, how could somebody break up with her? How could somebody not, want to be with them? But we have to remember, they are all human beings. We are all human beings. Some folks just have better jobs than others. Some folks' jobs just create an atmosphere where it's, they're privy to a lot of things, but they still human beings. Regular human beings like the ordinary person. They just make a lot more money than everybody else. So they got fucked up attitudes too. They could be up personally, just like anybody else. They just got a lot of money. I think it was my man Benny the Butcher. He said something about money don't change you. It just express the way you really are, or something like that. He says. I'm paraphrasing, okay. But anyway, so I made mistakes like that, and I've done, things like that before I caught myself and decided to change my life. When I took that look in the mirror, I said, I used to do things like that, but it didn't cost me $1 million. It didn't cost me millions. I didn't lose millions doing stuff, wasting folks' time with being, just out there doing things that I wasn't supposed to be doing and just enjoying life or, whatever the case may be. So, but it didn't cost me millions. But at what point do you got to grow and understand it's a time issue there, but you don't have control over your thing. And you got to get control over that boy. Okay? You got to get control over it. So, but if you're not getting along with your spouse or whatever the case may be, then I understand, because I can tell you, I'm on the outside looking in, but from what I can understand, but it was a true story. Where I used to work at, we had our older terminal, and I don't know if you all remember the days when they used to have the carts inside the airport, and some people get the cart, tip the man because they rushing for flights. They had a cart that would drive you all the way through the airport, all through there and everything. And after 9/11, that ceased everywhere. But back then, this was, before 9/11, it was well before 9/11. And I'm not gonna mention his name, but we got a local star that she used to date, one of our local folks around here. And I remember it so well because we up in the terminal, and they were coming, to my gate or whatever, and they had the cart going, but it was you can see they was clearly upset with one another. They were arguing. And once they had got to the gate, my man got up out the cart. He looked at the driver, reached in his pocket. I think he threw him a fin. He was like, man, get this bitch out of here. I was like, wow, he called Nia Long a bitch. Woo! So I get it. People can they can be kind of a certain way. And look, I'm gonna show you one of my. Let me see. I want to share my screen with you real quick. And this is, oh my goodness, this is one of my greatest Nia Long moments. I don't know if y'all remember this movie. And I've always been intrigued. Let's see if we get the sound. This movie, this is Soul Food. This is when Bird, you can see it. What's it? Bird and Lamb sex scene in the bathroom. Check the scene out.
She spent more time getting her shop together instead of following Lem around. Maybe she'd pay me back that loan. Terry, you are not hurt because you gave Bird money for that shop. I loaned her money.
Yeah, cut it out. I don't hear all that. We go get to the scratch. All right. Here we go. Check it out. Check the scene out. Look what she do. She pulled her panties off and stuffed them in his mouth. Oh my. I thought that was like that was one of the dopest scenes ever to me. Okay. And so when like I said, as an outsider, you see some of the things you can't imagine people doing things like that. But at the end of the day, like I said, we are all just human beings. Some folks just have different jobs than others. But I just think your decisions that you make need to be better than that, especially as you get older. That just don't make no sense. So you just frivolously wasting money. So, it's like I would like to take that money and put it in like almost in a swear jar and collect it. And I got it's a individual that I follow that I watch a lot on out there, watch his podcast and listen to his listen to him talk or whatever. My man Dr. Boyce Watkins, he speaks a lot, and one of his things is trying to help the Black community out, and he's teaching them about money, do a PhD in finance, and I watch him and listen to a lot of his stuff, and one particular time he was talking about, he had talked with Kanye West, and he and Kanye talked for a while, and he said something about he has this quest to raise you can get all these athletes out here. He has a goal. He figures, he put about $100 million together, and just like we have them football camps and basketball camps or whatever, little things for the recruiting camps and different things. He's talking about putting together like educational camps in that nature. And only reason why I'm speaking on it, well, one, I think it's a great idea, and two, I can't figure out why they can't raise the money to do so. So, but when you got people that end up having to pay $32,500 in alimony because of some extracurricular activity, that type of money that can go in that swear jar, and that can go in that swear jar where you're raising some capital to actually educate and move forward our youth, point them in the right direction. You use the cash. So, long story short, I put my head out there. I get in touch with me. I'll be the buffer. If you're scared to, make donations to individuals such as my man I just spoke of, you don't want to, mess over your little McDonald deal or whatever the case, just get at me. I'll be the buffer. You ain't got to tell nobody. But it's some folks out there that can use the help, especially if you just giving away $32,500. Well, no, technically, it's not giving away $32,500 because it's helping taking care of his child. Like I said, this ain't about her or she shouldn't get that money. No, she deserves every bit of it. She and her son and their son deserves every bit of it. Whatever they get, whatever the court gave him, he should spend. He should fork over, because that was just dumb. And at some point, like I said, you just gotta man up to that one and just take that on the chin. But you shouldn't be out there doing that. So we gonna take them L's like that, and we put it in the cookie jar, in the jar like the swear jar, and see if we can raise this money and put things together so we can see if we can build these financial or these financial educational satellite schools across the country, like my man is talking about. Go check him out, man. Y'all can get a chance to check him out. And actually help, we educate, educate our young men and women. Okay. Especially if you got time to do stuff like that. Hey, look, Harbaugh left, went to the Chargers. He got the job. Michigan had to wait, from what I understand, a few days to announce the coach. I guess Sharon Moore has been, according to the reports, Sharon Moore has gotten a job, getting about 5.5. We gonna talk about that. We gonna talk about it. I gotta do some digging, do some research, because when I get into it, it's a connection from Harbaugh's tenure, from at least college-wise, collegiately wise, from San Diego State to Stanford and to Michigan. It's a connection there. It's a strong connection there, and like I've said before, you don't have to like the man, but his success you got to appreciate. And each program he left, it was a blueprint that he laid down, that he brought in with him, man, and it obviously worked. And the backside of that, his predecessors. Go look and see who his last two predecessors are, or were. One is. Go look and see who his last two predecessors from when he left Stanford and from when he left Michigan. Go see who his predecessors were. We go talk about that. So we go get into that. Like I said, I got a couple more things I want to check out on that. We go talk about that. But I just wanted to say this today, man. It's sports related, because the gentleman who's played ball. I understand my man Udoka. He's from the, I guess, California area. Played for the Dons, San Francisco Dons. Who they got 2 championships. Who led the way? Anybody know about that? But he played for the Dons. I guess he did more international play. His I think his father is Nigerian, but he was born here in the States. But nonetheless, athlete, played ball. And you're 40, brother, you should know better. That's just wasting money. So instead of wasting the money, I got a good cause that I would like to help fund. Like I said, don't want your name attached to it. You don't have to. That's why I'm throwing my hat in to be the professional athlete buffer. Y'all need somebody to buffer this stuff through, man, because some of the things that you guys are doing is just ridiculous. And we can use that money that you're getting fined for, choking people up, throwing it away. We can use that money to help educate some folks out here. All right. But yeah, we coming back, man. We're gonna do Harbaugh, a little bit of Harbaugh and Sharon Moore, in the state of Michigan. And I get at you, man. I appreciate you stopping by. If you didn't get a chance to check it out originally, hit the comments, leave a comment, get back at you, the jargon. Like I said, we just want to have some real dialogue, man. Some real dialogue, X's and O's, analytics. We can do that too, but we just want to keep it 100. Something similar to Debo Sanders is back. Is it Debo Samuelson? What's his name? Debo. Y'all know what I'm talking about. I get at y'all later, man. I'm the host. I go by New, just something W. Check out the description, man. Hit the likes and all that kind of stuff. Go over to the No Fan. No Fan is at No Fan 20. No, at No Fan TV 20. Hit the subscribe and like button and share the videos, man. We getting out here. We trying to do some things. Today was just trying to educate today. These folks need it. We trying to educate today. And if you got 32.5 that you just want to throw away, no, it's not being thrown away because you're taking care of your former mate and your child. But who was that made it something cheaper to keep it? Just for some, All right, man. I get y'all. Peace. Let's do 32.5. I thought that was incredible. I really did. 32.5. This guy got $32,000, 500 just throw away. Wow, incredible. That's incredible. It's not thrown away though, but that's still incredible. Lord have mercy. Can't keep it in your pants though. Or one of the boss's old ladies. Sex on the workplace. Cost you $32,500 a month. Was it good? God, I need to talk to. I'm still on. I need to talk to that man. I need to talk to him. 32.5. I'm trying to figure out what do somebody do for 32.5? What kind of? That's one of them things. For 32.5, what they do? You know, you like one of them Thailand deals. You go over there, do anything. Did y'all see this? Speaking of which, y'all see that little video? And the lady, you know, calling out with all she has a sheet of paper. Them cats coming in and telling me what all these little Thailand people do. I mean, it had to be something along that line. 32.5. It's too much, man. I just don't see it worth all that. She deserve it though. Her and your child deserve it. And I get at y'all.